What does a pre-construction manager do? In this video, I want to cover, well, really one of the most important concepts for this role, and then talk about the components one by one so that we have a really nice perspective, really nice overview. So if you're into that, stay with us. I love the idea of pre-construction managers, and I grew up in a company at Hensel Phelps where pre-con was always the thing, and jobs were always planned on a flow, and it was always done with really solid builder savvy because they taught their builders really well. And the pre-con managers would really just make sure that everything happened in a flow just like it would on the construction site. Now, let me start out with this main concept. Without somebody leading this process, whether it's the design team or the design builder or the PM taking lead, or in this case, a pre-construction manager, things can get really chaotic. And I'll say for no reason, meaning the chaos comes simply because there's nobody watching. Let me give you an example. If you wanted to design to a budget, you would want to implement target value design, target value delivery methods. Do we think that that's going to happen if there's not somebody leading it? No, the designers will. They're supposed to. This is part of the system. Inflate that design, and then when we go out to bid, it'll be too much. Then we'll have to chop a bunch of things off of it, and we're going to waste an incredible amount of time. Or let's say the design takes too long in the first place. Well, that's because nobody's reining everybody in, suggesting certain types of co-location, doing concurrent reviews, driving the process, tracking pull plans to milestones. Here's my point. It's unmitigated. If we don't have a pre-construction manager, things will just happen for no reason other than a lack of oversight. It's needless, it's senseless, it's frustrating. It's really tragic, actually. If we don't have somebody leading the design or a pre-construction manager, we will have delayed deadlines, late design, lack of permitting oversight. We'll have late materials, especially for things like switchgear or elevators or exterior curtain wall. We will have a situation where we aren't on budget, where then we'll have to do this massive so-called value engineering effort where we'll have to lop everything, key components of the building off. We will not be under budget. The team will not be happy. And then what will happen is the design team will move on, and it will be a nightmare to get started. So pre-construction management, and in this case a pre-construction manager, are quite crucial to the success of the project. So I'm going to go through these concepts one by one, and I hope you enjoy them. Number one, leading pre-construction planning. In the book Elevating Pre-Construction Planning, oh, that sounded similar. Anyway, in the book Elevating Pre-Construction Planning, we talk all about how to win the project. Then once you're on the project, how to set the conditions of satisfaction and how to organize the team properly with the right communication systems in the right meeting cadence. A pre-con manager will do all of this. And then make sure that, especially in the concept, schematic design, design development portions of the design, that we are getting them, feeding them what they need, right? And which I'll talk about here in just a minute as well. But the planning there will be led by the pre-construction manager. Now, real quick, there will be different times where that manager will pull in the PM, the superintendent, a director, another resource, a scheduling manager, to hit different key points in that planning so that we can really have great builder pre-construction efforts. Number two, budgets and cost estimates. Obviously, this individual, especially on a massive project, will have estimators or an estimating lead working, but making sure that the budget is managed in real time. See, here's what we want to do. We want to make sure that our budget is clearly defined, based on what was, an initial plug number or estimate based on the program, like a cost per square foot number, an actual bid by a trade partner. Did I already say control estimate? I think I did. And that budget is tracked and totaling properly and in a format that allows us to do a third-party check and compare and basically do other comps, right? In the conceptual phase, and then when we're in design development and CD phase. And we'll manage, as we're going out to bid, that when we do our bid tallies and our bid leveling, that those numbers get plugged into the overall total. The key to this is to have real-time feedback as best that we possibly can. And again, to try and target the stipulated sum and design to it instead of inflate the design and then lop off portions of the design. Number three, coordinate design development with the designers. Design development is the phase where you're really doing systems selection. And there's a couple of things here that we want to do. Number one, we want to understand the overall strategic and production plan for the project site. And wherever we have bottlenecks, We need to make sure that we're not building what we've designed, but design to what we're going to build. And if you talk to people, experts like Hal Makeomer, who taught me this concept, and you understand concepts, the good concepts from advanced work packaging, you'll understand that what we really want to do is give the designers some build specs. And when we're selecting systems, design in the most optimal way that will reduce costs during construction and after for the owner. So design development is key. We're really making sure the owner gets what they want, but we're also making sure that key constructability items that will enable the schedule are being considered, and that all happens before or during design development. So that process right there will be led by the pre-construction manager. Number 4, managing value engineering efforts. This is key. Real time with A3s, where you see the problem and the proposed solutions all on one page, and during bidding, when we really need to get to a budget, and maintaining that log and working with the designers and making key decisions and logging them on the design action log is all a responsibility of the pre-construction manager. Number 5, lead constructability reviews. Again, I've talked about this before. We don't want milquetoast constructability reviews. We really want to get in. We really want to involve VDC. We really want to involve model checks. We really want to make sure that we're getting down to real builder type reviews that mean something and give the design team something real instead of just like, oh, update this detail, just the milquetoast type stuff. We want some real feedback here. Number 6, the pre-con manager will make sure that the macro level TAC plan to the norm, any other scheduled deliverables like the zone maps, logistics plans, even the design of the trailer, the procurement log, any of those planning deliverables are being maintained, even if he or she pulls in other help. One of the biggest things, number 7, is coordinating trade partner input. Early design assist trade partners are absolutely key. And sometimes the owner's not going to pay for that. Pulling in early design assist trade partners, even if you just have to issue an LOI, is a really good idea. And coordinating that wisdom to connect with the design team for things like MEP systems or the exterior or the elevator are quite important and is a main responsibility of the pre-con manager. And then obvious things like creating the bid packages, huge effort, and then going out to bidding and then receiving those bids and doing the bid leveling. Getting the project team and the right people, the builders in the room to where we got the first 90 days logistical support. We've got our first trade partners on board, our quality process queuing up to make sure that we're able to hit the ground running. Like anything that we need to start logistically strong. Oh, including making sure that we're analyzing for the site for any underground utilities or historical preservation or any existing soils conditions, right? Making sure the site is ready logistically. Oh, and with the right new services and utilities as well. Temp power, temp electrical is definitely going to be in that role description. And I will say finally, keeping this team to where everybody's working together towards a common goal. If you don't have this, design team will be heading this way, owner this way, contractor this way, trades this way. Everybody's heading in a different direction. If you can get everybody rowing in the same direction, you can have an amazing pre-construction effort based on trying to hit targets, right? The budget, the schedule, the milestone dates, and get the project started on time with permits. That takes somebody awake behind the wheel, alert, knowing what they're doing. These are some of the things that a pre-construction manager does, and I hope that list helps. If you have any questions, please reach out to me in the comments below. We would love to help. And don't forget that, there's 2 really cool books. One is an IPD-centric book, but Integrating Project Delivery is really, really neat. There are books for pre-con managers, and then our book, Elevating Pre-Construction Planning. Please pick those up. I'm going to turn this into a blog post and a list for you. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.